Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. How are you? Hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love with those you love to do them with. It is Wednesday. It's game day. It's game day in the Champions League. We've got all those games to talk about. We've got last night's games to talk about as well. We've also got, what is this? What is this? This is our trophy. Our trophy. No, you're not. What trophy? What trophy? We have no trophy. There is no trophy.
Bloody outrage, Sean.
Outrage everywhere across Africa. Morocco want their trophy. Senegal says, what trophy? It's hilarious. It is what it is. It's so typically AFCON. Absolutely mental stuff.
It's so bloody corrupt. It's so corrupt.
We have to ask you. I can hear some echoes, Johnny. I can hear some echoes. We have... hang on. Is that me? Let me get rid of that. It's my side. Guys, let's ask you some favors. Smash the like button for us. Smash the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. And drop some comments thick and fast. Let us know your thoughts on all of today's topics. We are, of course, available on all of your podcast platforms. Don't forget to find us on Spotify, on Apple, on Amazon. Search for Football Inc. Give us a follow, a rating, and a review. We'd be very much appreciated it. And we are, of course, lastly, sponsored by OK Jersey. You know what to do. Go find your clobber. Go find your clobber. 8% off at checkout using code FINK. Can't ask fairer than that. They've got updated shirts. In fact, they've actually got a new shirt today. A new shirt. I was updated today. They've got a new shirt. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll show it on the screen in just a minute. Johnny, how are you, my man?
I'm okay. First of all, big happy birthday to Shawnee McConte. Yes, Sean Butler.
Thank you, mate.
Happy birthday. Everyone in the chat, wish him a happy birthday. Doesn't look a day over 21. And it's Magnum Day. And if you know, you know.
That's the new one.
Very nice. Very nice.
I think it must be a training top or something. I don't know.
Yeah, very
nice.
Or
maybe it's a match jersey from before. I don't know. But anyway, either way.
Yeah. Lovely shirt. We'll get one up later. Fantastic stuff, Sean. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks,
and I'd just like to say to my Talking Tottenham followers, thanks very much for helping me hit 10,000
congratulations,
followers.
mate. Congratulations.
10,000 subscribers. And to all the people out there who said, you two, there's no chance that anyone from Australia will want to follow you two, right? You're all wrong, right? Because I looked at the numbers, right? 12% of our following is from Australia. Thank you very much, Aussie. Right? Yeah.
We appreciate the Australians.
We appeal to some just because we said a couple of iffy words about Ange Postecoglou. It doesn't make us bad people, right? Doesn't make us bad people. But listen, Sean, let's start with honestly, mate. Listen, we know FIFA's corrupt. We know UEFA's corrupt. We know the Premier League's defunct. But this AFCON crap, mate. I mean, what the fuck are they doing? 2 months. 2 months. What is this? 2 months after AFCON's finished, right? Those cheating Moroccans who were doing, they were unbelievable. The antics that they're getting away with, the fucking antics. Taking the towels away, having to fight the goalkeeper to nick the towels when it was pouring with rain. I
forgot about that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, pouring with rain, the diving, the surrounding the referee, the shenanigans that was going on all the way through the tournament. And in that, the referee gives absolutely outrageous penalty that was never a penalty. Yes, they shouldn't have walked off. Yes, they shouldn't have walked off. That's for sure.
But the game was played on, right? If you walk off the pitch and you want to enforce the rules, as James just said in the last show, you call it 3-0 there and then, right? They came back. The game was allowed to continue. You can't wait 2 months to then decide. Actually, they broke the rules. If they broke the rules, the rules should have been enforced then. It's insane. It's 2 months later, Johnny. Like, you have to, it begs the question, and again, pardon the insinuation here for the sensitivities, but we're non-woke on this channel. It begs the question of what particular slice of the brown paper envelopes went from who to whom for this decision to be made.
It's disgusting. Look, Rule 5.2 says the referee's decision is final. when the whistle blows, right, that's it. The decision's final. If the referee chose to end the game there and then, look, should they have walked off? 100% not, right? Okay, 100%. The behaviour was bad. Mane managed to convince them to come back on, but I understand why. I mean, their fans were being attacked. I mean, the whole thing was an absolute farce. It was in Morocco. Morocco have spent millions and millions, tens of millions of pounds hosting it. And these Senegalese have had the cheek to come along and win it. And then they finally come on, and the guy does this Rabona, and it's saved, terrible Rabona. It's saved by the goalkeeper, and they go on to win the tournament.
He also missed that penalty deliberately, didn't he?
Well, obviously not.
I think so. I think so. I think he was told whether he was Listen, I'm not sitting here, mate, saying this is a one-way story of corruption, because I'm pretty sure that someone...
Well, I think it is, Sean. I mean, listen, you know, you and I don't agree on everything, but look, I'm sorry, the tournament's in Morocco, the shenanigans and the going on with the Moroccan Federation nicking the I mean, where was the referee when players are running around and people are running around trying to nick the towels of the goalkeeper because when it's pouring with rain, trying to distract them? That's not football. That's not sportsmanship.
Well, you think it wasn't possible that Marmoush got a fucking word in his shell from someone who said, if you score that goal, you're not leaving this stadium?
Nah, mate. Listen, I think if he missed the goal, there was more chance of him not leaving the stadium. I mean, they've invested untold millions in it, and he's gone and missed it.
There was communication. There was communication between Marmoush and the goalkeeper before that happened. It was
they never conspired.
A little wink in the gun. I genuinely think that Marmoush missed that on purpose to sort of, because they knew it was a shitty penalty. I'm just saying that in a world where corruption is par for the course, right? Which, let's be honest, on the African continent, corruption is everywhere. By the way, it's absolutely everywhere. Like, let's not be. I'm not even for a second like Europe. Our government, every corruption is fucking everywhere, right? In the highest power, but it's a little bit more obvious in certain areas. I think that both sides of that conversation, absolutely both sides, were engaged in some levels of corruption, and it's extended beyond. I genuinely think that Marmoush was warned or told for whatever reason. The goalkeeper knew he was going to go down the middle, and he tried the Panenka, but it was a fait accompli that it was going to go to extra time.
Yeah, but listen, I personally don't subscribe.
Oh, not sorry, Diaz. Sorry, Brahim Diaz. Sorry, not Marmoush. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't subscribe to that, purely from the point of view that they've done everything they can and cheated their way to get to that point, right? You think they really gave a shit about what Senegal thought? After it's over, it's over. 2 months down the line. I'm sorry, Senegal were robbed, mate. Senegal deserved to win that game. Senegal deserved to win that tournament, and Morocco didn't. It's as simple as that. You know, you can't have a decision. I mean, we can't even get a decision right after. Think about how many decisions that have been made by Spurs, by Arsenal. You know, we just come out now 2 months after the incident where so-and-so was sent off. We worked out that actually he shouldn't have been sent off, and we're going to change the result to 3-0 to Spurs. Or, you know, Gabriel's dive, you know, where you know, he got his penalty, or the goal was ruled out. We've decided, no, that's now allowed, and we've awarded Spurs the goal. You can't do that. It's 2 months down the line. It's 2 months down the line. It absolutely... it ruins the game of football. I'm sorry. There's enough corruption going on right now. Fine Senegal, 100%. 100%. But to do this, I'm sorry, mate. It's absolute farcical. There's lots of comments going on about it at the moment today. And
yeah, sorry, I know Marmoush is Egyptian. Sorry, just a brain fart. It's a birthday brain fart from Butler.
Yeah, but you're allowed to have brain farts. And talking about more corruption, right? Just to carry on. I mean, this is another one, right? If the FA applied a points deduction proportionate to Luton's, remember Luton got a 10-point deduction to Chelsea based on Luton's payments to agents being 160 grand. So they got a 10-point deduction, Luton, for 160 grand secret payments paid to agents. Chelsea was 47.5 million. How have they got off with a suspended sentence for 2 years? From 160 grand payments that Luton got a 10-point penalty to them no point penalty for something that was, by all rights, if it was proportionate, Chelsea would have lost 2,970 points. It's a fucking joke.
Listen, we spoke about this yesterday. I don't know what more we can speak about.
I forgot about Luton, mate. I forgot Luton. I just didn't remember that Luton had a 10-point deduction for 160 grand payment to agents that they sort of hid.
When was that?
What
year was that? What year was that?
I'm not sure. You have to look it up. They got a 10-point deduction.
Can't you look it up?
Okay. All right.
You look it up, Butler. No, fucking Johnny, you look it up, mate. You can look it up. You're capable.
Okay.
Listen, for me, I think I saw Stephen Borson on TalkSport saying stuff this morning that we were saying forever. You know, like the brand building exercise of Chelsea, like how you can
2008. 2008. In 2008,
the fact that you can sit there as the Premier League law officials and the FA and pretend like what happened in a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 year period doesn't have like hangover effects. It doesn't have like knock-on effects into the future is obscene. Like, first of all, if Eden Hazard was an illegal transfer, they made £100 million profit on him, or an £85 million profit on him when they sold him.
I mean, look, this is serious stuff, right? They've made 12 payments to 12 different people, totaling £47 million, right? £47 million. How can you have a 10-point deduction for Luton? How can you have that and then have nothing for Chelsea? And they've still got another 74 that they're investigating. It's actually made a complete and utter farce. Swansea for payments, right? They went down, I think, from the Championship to League One, from the Premier League to League One, and then got reinstated to the Prem. Mate, honestly, why is there not? I mean, Henry Winter's done a bit about it.
Listen, every journalist, every fan who's a neutral, everyone thinks it's an outrage. Problem is, what can you do? What can you do about it?
I think someone has to. There should be an investigation into the EPL, mate.
But then, when are they going to come out and speak about it?
Name and shame the people who were involved in this case. Huh?
Tottenham Hotspur,
got a home in the Bahamas?
Tottenham Hotspur would have been title winners had they not had Chelsea not signed Eden Hazard.
He scored 16 goals that season. And what about William? We paid for William's flight over. He jumped out of a flipping window.
The biggest victims of this injustice, Johnny, are Tottenham Hotspur.
We are. And if it's been proved that they did it, do Spurs have a case, Sean?
No, listen, I don't think you can do that because like it's a whole new timeline of reality, right? If
they
Chelsea
won 2 Champions Leagues,
but if Chelsea don't sign Willian, do they sign someone else? If Tottenham comes to Willian, does it mean that he plays as well for Tottenham as he does for Chelsea? If Eden Hazard comes, Harry Redknapp said he was going to sign Eden Hazard at Tottenham. If he comes to Tottenham, does he do as well? Maybe, maybe not. You literally don't know. It's the butterfly effect conversation, right? Well, when a butterfly flaps its wings in one part, someone else
lost by 7 points. I hear what you're saying, but
I'm saying, like it's an entirely different timeline of reality.
No, I'm not talking
everything
about
everything changes. Everything changes. You can't make the assumption. It's why anybody that says strip the title of the winner and give it to the person who came second is insane. Right? You should never do that because every other transfer, like Johnny, if I'm not doing this right now, if I was doing this instead, it might mean that somewhere else someone isn't doing something. Someone that's watching this show isn't itching their nose, and instead of that, something else happens later on. Like every action has an equal opposite reaction, and you have no idea.
No, but
consequences of something.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but in my opinion, the fact that Chelsea signed Douglas Luiz, Willian, Eden Hazard, five players that changed their whole system illegally, right, through payments to people illegally to secure it by paying them offshore and doing what they did, right?
Yep.
They gained an advantage that's not available
and they should
to
be
everybody
punished.
else.
They, of course, and they should be punished far more than they have been. But the notion that the teams that the players would have come to had they not gone to Chelsea.
No, I'm not saying they come to us. I'm not saying
you asked should Tottenham get compensation? I'm saying no.
I'm asking. No, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that Eden Hazard would have come to us or William would have come to us. That isn't my point. My point is those 5 players that they signed 100% had a huge effect on Chelsea winning the title and Champions League and all the other cups that they won, right? What I'm saying
they should be in the most extreme example, they should be stripped of those titles and they should have points deductions or relegation or whatever in the most extreme. But the notion that other clubs should have compensation, or that the team that came second or finished as losers in the final of the cups as a consequence, the notion that those teams should be awarded anything instead is for the birds. Because if one thing doesn't happen in life, if you go back in history, if one thing doesn't happen, then a whole entire new reality of timeline exists. So you can't make the assumption that if Eden Hazard didn't play for didn't play for Chelsea, then Tottenham would have won the league. That's not the case, because
he scored 16 goals. And
but you missed the point. Yeah. Eden Hazard, if he didn't go to Chelsea, he would have gone somewhere else, right? And then he would have played for that team. And then the players that team signed, they wouldn't have signed some of those players because they signed Eden Hazard. So those players would have gone somewhere else. And then wherever, it just becomes this giant fucking spider web of new realities. So you can't make the assumption
you say
if Hazard hadn't joined Chelsea, that Chelsea wouldn't have won the league. And therefore the team everything else would have been the same. I think you're missing my point, mate, or you're not hearing it.
No, I'm hearing it. Meanwhile, though, the reason why Manchester City's 115 charges and they haven't sorted it out yet is because they know, the Premier League know, that should they find them guilty of the 115 charges going back year after year after year after year, and they're found guilty, what's the first thing that is going to be flooding into the Premier League? Lawsuits, charges of lost income, clubs that have gone down, clubs that should have won. They will be flooded with compensation. But again,
if I was a judge, I would sit there and throw them all out of court.
But you're not a judge. It will go to the court of arbitration.
I know I'm not a judge, but just logic, right? Logic. How can you possibly? Johnny, it's like saying, if I didn't
I'm not saying it. I'm saying that's what will happen.
But the argument is crazy. The argument is crazy, right? If I didn't stay in the bar that night, I would have never got in that fight with that geezer. Okay, and then I wouldn't have gone to prison, and then my life would be perfect. How do you know that if you'd got in the car and went home early, you wouldn't have got in a car accident? You don't know. Like it's a whole different timeline. If something doesn't happen, something else happens, and reality. But you can't assume that everything else stays the same absent one change. It's crazy.
No, you're not listening to what I hear. What you're saying, but what I'm saying is, the fact that the EPL, the Premier League, didn't act on information they had to deduct the points off of Man City in the last 3, 4, 5 years, right, has affected the outcome.
Which is why you should throw the book at them in an extortionate way, because you can't, just giving them
understand what I'm saying from that. You understand?
No, I absolutely understand. I'm not saying that they should get away with it. I'm just saying that the notion that you punish them a little bit and it leaves the door open for all these these ridiculous lawsuits. I'm saying that the lawsuits are ridiculous because they're based on assumptions that everything else would have been the same had it not been for that happening, and that's not the case. You can't predict. It's just like I say, I don't know how else to explain it apart from
but if I hit
new variables, but because of that, you can't reward Tottenham, you can't retrospectively reward United or City or anybody else, or not City, anybody. You can't do that because you just don't know what else would have happened. And so, because of that reality, then allowing City in their scenario or Chelsea in this scenario to get away with a slap on the wrist is insufficient justice. You can't give the justice to the other teams, so you have to punish Chelsea and punish City more extortionately, more extreme, because it will give some level of appeasement and some level of deterrent from it happening again. So I 100% agree with you that what happened to Chelsea, what they've been given, is a fucking disgrace. And if Manchester City get some level of comparative precedent-based punishment, i.e., well, they broke 3 times as many laws, but Chelsea only got 10 million quid, slap, therefore City get 30 million quid, slap, then it's a disgrace and football's broken. But you can't make the assumption that because a player went here and they shouldn't have gone there, that they would have gone there, and therefore you strip the title, you give it to you should throw the book at Chelsea. You should take all of their titles away in that period. You should also demote them to the championship, because they're still benefiting to this day
100%
they built via cheating. And if Manchester City are guilty of the same thing or worse, they should have an even bigger, an even more extortionate punishment. But you can't start rewarding people based on other factors, based on presuming
I'm not presuming. All I'm saying is, look, when you've made hundreds of millions from your cheating, to fine them 10 million is a fucking embarrassment, right?
I agree.
But what I'm saying is, if the Premier League were going to demote Man City or deduct them 30 points, but they've held off, and now they're doing it, right? Then they have a case, because I hear what you're saying, but those nothing would have changed. That 30 point is final. That would have been, had they deducted or relegated Man City last season, we heard we were going to get told over a year ago, 18 months ago.
Sure.
Had they deducted or demoted them to the Championship 18 months ago, but they've held off, then there is a case to answer for the people who were demoted this season.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Because nothing else. Because the only thing that changes in that time. Well, at the same time, you could still make the argument, had that thing happened in, let's say, December of 2024, right? That Man City were deducted 50 points.
Yeah.
Right. And then they were in the relegation zone, and they went down. Then who would have stayed up?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Leicester would have stayed up, probably, right?
Yeah, and they wouldn't be where they were now.
But true, potentially, but it all depends on when that jurisdiction comes down. Because if that comes down in December, then every team has got 4 months or 5 months worth of football to play, knowing that Manchester City are at minus 50 points. So again, it still does create a new timeline of reality. I hear you, Johnny. It's ridiculous.
But this is what I'm saying. Look,
it's also incredibly complicated to be able to assume that things would have been different just because of a certain outcome happening at a different time.
What is definitive is, look, what Sniffer says here is bang on the money, right? So Man City, the hearing is done, right? They're all waiting on the verdict.
Yeah. And it was done in October of 2024.
Right. So what I'm saying to you is, they are sitting on the facts.
Yeah.
They are choosing when and where, and
they're playing God. They're playing God with football.
They're playing God, right?
I completely agree with you.
And what I'm saying to you is, if they do it this season, and the third, say for example, Forest go down, and they are the third team, and they do it next season, or they do it last season, whoever it is that was in that place will say, well, hang on a minute. Why have you sat on it for 18 months and you're doing it now?
Well, the verdict was done in October amongst the court's verdict. Yeah. But then the reason, the argument, at least as far as I'm aware, as to why it has
arbitration
is because it had to be then everything, like the initial verdict was done, but it then had to be gone through by all of the various lawyers to make sure that everything was as it was supposed to be. I hear you, Johnny, but what I would argue is that the only appropriate time to drop the verdict, again, I'm not sorry, I'm playing devil's advocate. Generally, I agree with you. It's a fucking disgrace it's taking this long, of course. But I don't think you can drop these sorts of things in the season if they are points deducting.
No, they're waiting to Arsenal win the league, and it's guaranteed.
I think the only fair time to do it, like I think it's a disgrace that Leicester had their points deduction dropped midway through the season. In fact, in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
So that's a disgrace on Leicester. Like Leicester broke the rules, right? And they won their appeal. No one's talking about Leicester because who the fuck cares about a championship team?
Well, no, because
they won the fucking Premier League 9 years ago.
I know, but what they did was they broke the rules in the championship and said, fuck you, we're in the Premier League now, you can't touch us. The problem was they stuck two fingers up, but then they got relegated again, and then they fell foul to the rules that they stuck their two fingers up at. And so they are being punished now for what they did in the championship.
You could make the argument that they should get the jurisdiction on that should come in an off season so that everyone knows where they are at the start of the season. That nothing can come down during this. It's the same with Nottingham Forest and Everton. Both of those teams got their announcement like mid-season. You know,
like
Leicester City are appealing their decision, right? So it's entirely possible that Leicester City go down on May the 15th or whenever their final game is, and the appeal will happen in the start of June, and then they will end up getting their appeal reduced or their points deduction reduced. Imagine if they go down on goal difference or by 1 point, right? Both Nottingham Forest and Everton had their points deduction reduced from 10 points to 6.
6
points to 4 for one of them, for the second one for Everton, right? So if Leicester go down by a point, and let's say, I don't know whoever the other team is that's one step up. Let's say whatever, Hull, for example, argument's sake. Let's say Leicester go down because they've been given a 6-point deduction. They appeal it, which they have. Leicester go down. Hull are celebrating that they're going up. This is the mother of all fucking VAR delayed fucking goal celebrations. Because on June the 1st, the panel might come out and say, actually, we're going to reduce Leicester City's punishment from 6 points to 4. And as a consequence, Leicester stay up in the championship and Hull go down.
Yes.
How can you do that? It's the mother of, it's like VAR, right? You can't celebrate a goal anymore. Now the team that finishes 17th, Johnny, or whatever it is, they'll be 19th in the championship. They can't actually celebrate staying up until the Leicester City appeal is known.
I listen, look,
it's a mess.
You know, this is another thing, right? Arsenal and Brighton, okay? The Cronkies and what's his name at Brighton lending the club money at a loan rate which no one else could get from a bank or from any business type loan, right? And they gained an unfair advantage, which they're still using, Arsenal. In fact, I think that loan was cited by Manchester City in their claim against the sponsorship deal. Was that not correct? I believe. So, look, when do you think...
to be fair though, that's nothing at all in terms of the shenanigans. Like with the Leicester thing, what do you think? Like if Leicester City go down on paper, but then appeal and then get a retraction by 2 points, like how bad is it that the team that finishes one spot above the relegation zone won't be able to celebrate their staying up until they know the result of the appeal?
Well, this is a joke. It's worse than VAR. You know, celebrating a goal. You're talking about tens of millions of pounds. You look at Oxford, West Brom, Blackburn, who are in that situation right now. You know, they're fighting out that position at the bottom of the table. But let's be honest, right? I have very little sympathy for Leicester from the point of view that when they broke all the rules, and they broke all the rules in the championship and said, screw you, right? We're in the Premier League now. You can't touch us, right? Your rules apply when we're in the championship. We're in the Premier League now, and they won their case. But they had.
You'd have sympathy for West Brom and Oxford that are currently fighting relegation, and
Correct.
Portsmouth, right?
Correct, 100%.
So Leicester are currently second bottom.
Yeah. Well, they're almost on points now with Oxford, West Brom, Blackburn, Portsmouth are a little bit, well, not a little bit out, but they're above them, I think. It's an absolute joke, Sean. I mean, when are they going to drop the Man City the points? Are they going to drop them at the start of the season, 30 points, and then say, Pep goes, he knows they're going to get a points deduction or get relegated, and he sails off into the sunset? He looks like a beaten guy, Pep Guardiola.
He's done, yeah. He's finished. He's finished.
Yeah, he like his whole responses to things that are going on right now. And there are people actually questioning Pep Guardiola's record as a manager. I mean, he hasn't won enough Champions League. Alex Ferguson won 2 Champions Leagues in 20 years. He's won 1 in 10, and they're questioning that, I mean, let's be honest, the Champions League is the creme de la creme, the best clubs, the best managers, and the best players. It's as simple as that. And it's a bloody hard tournament to win, unless you get a nice pass. Shall we go on to that, actually? Shall we pivot onto that? Do you want to do the super chats?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%. Big up to Chudini. My man, choo to you, buddy. Always here, always supporting like an absolute legend you are, Chudini. Appreciate you, mate. Choo to you, buddy. Choo to you. Appreciate you. James has also put in happy birthday, Sean. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Love you, man. Thanks so much. Sniffer has also come back in. Big up to you, Sniffer. I'm glad you're feeling better. Well, not feeling better necessarily, but I'm glad you've had some pickup in your health news, mate. As I said in the previous.
Good to hear it, Sniff.
Great to hear it, man. Hopefully all is on the mend for you, my man. Good luck in that pursuit. Let me know. Reach out to me if you want to chat, mate. I'm always available. And
yeah, let's pivot on to the champions.
Paul Langley, hang on. Paul Langley has also said, happy birthday, Shawnee. Big up to you, Paul. Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate you, mate. 42 years young, although I feel very old. Big up to you, Paul. Appreciate you, buddy. Very cool of you. Very generous, everybody. Love you all. Let's talk about the what do you want to talk about? The Champions League?
Yeah, no, the Champions League. Look, I feel like I've got to put my hands up last night after last night's chat of boring Arsenal. Last night they took the handbrake off, Sean. They took the handbrake off of Bayer Leverkusen, and they played with a little bit more freedom of expression. And I'm not for 1 minute suggesting I thought Bayer Leverkusen were a threat. I don't think they had any threat up front, really. But those 2 goals, the goal from Eberechi Eze was an absolute peach. He should have had one before that. It was unbelievable block. He hit about 5-10 minutes before that. They're going to be hard to stop, Sean, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah.
I can see them going all the way to the final.
Yeah, I would have given Bodo a chance against Arsenal. I don't think I'll give Sporting the same chance. But Sporting last night were sensational. Did you watch the game?
Bodo froze, mate. Bodo froze. Let's just quick about Arsenal. We'll come on to the Bodo. But did you? I mean, I
thought Eze's goal, the first goal for Eze. I mean, it was a fantastic finish. But the just the delicious technical delicacy that we experienced there. I hate to see it happening in an Arsenal shirt, but it's rare that you see a little game of keepy uppies before a goal of that magnitude. It was unbelievable. Declan Rice just popping it in, keeping it off the ground, hitting the chest, hitting the thigh, just bonking it over. It just looked delicious. This is the thing that's terrifying about Arsenal is that when in the Premier League, when they need to win ugly, they've done the homework on how to win ugly, and they put all their groundwork into that stuff. But if they are allowed to play more openly, then they're more than willing to do that. And they're one of these fighters that sort of sits there and says, "Okay, you want me to fight on the inside? I can do that. Oh, you want to throw hands? We can do that too. You want to get down on the floor and do jiu-jitsu? Capable, bro. Capable. They're like
you want to come out all guns swinging, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good in every discipline, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
very impressive.
Eze's goal. I mean, look, you can see now he's taken some time. I told you he had to do his homework, Sean, and you'll start to see him understanding the patterns of play. It's a bit like when an NFL. For those of you that watch the NFL, learning the playbook. and understanding the plays. That's what Arteta does. Arteta has playbooks. He has homework. Is the detail is immense. But I mean, he's such a wind. I mean, he walks around like this, like a coiled up spring, every single game, Arteta, and that's how Arsenal play. But last night, it just felt like there was a little bit more freedom in their play. There was a bit more belief in what they were doing. And I thought Eze, some of the there was a moment as well in the middle of the park where he just slipped his man and left him for dead, right, lying on the floor. A fantastic moment. And I thought Declan Rice's goal was superb. I mean, Declan Rice has got to be one of the best midfielders in Europe, has he not?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's only 2 or 3 other people that you put in there. Valverde or maybe Caicedo, different caliber, different profiles, but for different reasons. But
he's ball delivery.
Declan Rice can literally do anything that's asked of him, right? He can play as a 6, he can play as an 8, he can play in a double pivot, he can play in a single pivot, he can play as a box to box, he can get forward, he can score goals. He's got amazing ability to finish and put the ball in the corner. He can take corners as well, so he contributes in that regard. He's
free kicks.
Yeah, free kicks as well. Like he's just an unbelievable player. Unbelievable player.
I mean, it pains me to say it.
And Coutinho as well. Coutinho's fucking brilliant as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't see Sporting doing anything. Look, we'll go on to them, but big up to Arsenal for their performance last night. It was really good on a night where the other Premier League clubs were sort of pretty much embarrassed. But let's go on to Bodo, mate. I thought Bodo just froze. I've never seen Bodo play so bad, ever. They just froze.
Yeah. Sporting got some real talent, mate. You know, and it's one of those things, though, Johnny. You know, if Sporting throw everything at it, like what will come to Chelsea. Right, same situation for we'll find out what happened with City tonight. We'll find out what happens with Tottenham tonight. But you saw 2 teams last night that had 3 goal deficits to make up at home. One of them went for it and got the early goal. The other one went for it and conceded the early goal. And then you see the tale of 2 tapes.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. And tonight, Tottenham and Manchester City.
No, Man City were last night.
Sorry.
Yeah, Liverpool
tonight. Sorry. That's right. Sorry. But Tottenham tonight will be the will be either one way or the other. It will either be 3-0 to Atletico Madrid, or it will be, maybe 3 or 4-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. But like, you have to throw caution to the wind. And Sporting, through caution, got their first goal. Tails are up, wind in the sails. Bodo shit themselves. 2-0, 3-0, 4-0.
What did you think of that penalty, Sean? It was absolutely outrageous.
Disgrace.
Absolute disgrace. It's hit the guy's belly, right? He hit the guy's belly from close range. Like, he couldn't move out of the way. Hit the guy's belly and hit him on the hand. I mean, the commentators were going, there's no way that's a penalty, not in a million years. And he gives it. Now, that changed the game. I think that then put them on tenterhooks. It was 2-0. Then they only needed the goal. And they were rattled. And they never really recovered from it. And it was sad to see. It's a sad ending for what has been a fantastic journey for Norwegian football. But they should hold their chins up high, heads up high, because they've been absolutely fantastic, Bodo. Many people slagged them off last year when they got through to the semi-finals of the Europa League, saying they'll never do that again. And they proved everybody wrong, and a fantastic run, great amount of money made. And it'd be interesting to see, but the fact that Bodo beat them away from home 3-0, and I think Arsenal have beaten Sporting Lisbon already just recently. I'm sure of it. I might be mistaken, but I'm sure they have. I think that Arsenal will be cruising through to play one of the other team, which we know will be Newcastle or Barcelona. What about the other game? Man City, Silva sent off.
Yeah, I've seen that for the penalty. Listen, he puts his arm behind his back, but he definitely leans his arm towards the ball, right? So, like, it's one of those ones you don't often see it, right? You're doing everything you can to look like you're playing by the game, but you still go like that. I got my arms behind my back. It's natural, right? It's natural. Get that ball out.
Totally natural. I mean, listen, I felt for Pep's face afterwards, right? I mean, listen, it is a shame because they still managed to get a goal back. Erling Haaland with a much needed goal, but Vinicius Junior.
He missed two or three gilt-edged chances as well, didn't he?
He did. He did. But I, I'm not sure when you looked at the bench and the players that he had on the bench, O'Reilly and the rest, whether he had one eye on the tournament, the cup final on Sunday. I would say that was more the case than anything else.
He had chances as well, though. City did have chances. Haaland pulled it back. I think it was Rodri that put one. What was it? I think it was Rodri that might have put one wide.
Yeah.
If they didn't go down to 10 men, mate, in the first half,
I think they would have given them a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they weren't even sure at the beginning whether or not he was offside. They had to go to VAR because had it been offside, he wouldn't have got the yellow card. He wouldn't have got the red card and been sent off. So, it's a shame for
Haaland scored again. Haaland back scoring. Does that change anything? Does that give him confidence going into the last 8 games?
Well, I think they're going to need to win every game and hope somehow Arsenal lose something, and that includes winning the Carabao Cup. Otherwise, I fear Arsenal could be winning everything.
Yeah, I think they will. I
think they could actually do the quad.
I think PSG will beat Arsenal over 90 minutes, though. I think that they're PSG are just as good as Arsenal are. Like, there's no discernible difference to me between Arsenal and PSG. I think PSG have got just as good players.
Attacking wise, PSG, Kvaratskhelia, whatever you want to call it, Kvaratskhelia, whatever. Unbelievable. Desiree Doué, Barcola, I mean, and Dombele. They've just got such a fantastic squad of players.
Yeah, I think if PSG get knocked out on the way, then it's curtains. But Barcelona will be the only likely target for Arsenal in the semis. But look who
PSG have got to play before they get to the bloody final. Arsenal have got to play the toughest game they might have. Probably is Barcelona, and even they're not great at the moment. Even they're not great. But Chelsea,
Tottenham.
mate,
don't write Tottenham off, mate. Don't write Tottenham
off.
I'm
not. No, listen, mate. Listen, we'll come on to them in a minute. We'll come on to them after. But tell me something. Losing 8-2, is the PE teacher in danger of getting a tin tack? I think he doesn't last till next season. What are you thinking?
Yeah, giving him a 6-year contract was ridiculous.
Laughable. Serves them right, mate.
I actually, as soon as on the day he got it, I put a tweet out saying he won't last a year or 18 months or whatever I said.
Might not even last 6 months.
Mate, it's mental. It's mental. He's bang average. He is bang average. What the fuck have they seen in him to think he's a 6-year? Who the fuck gives any manager 6 years anymore, Johnny? Who does that? Who does that in this day and age? No one gets a 6-year contract. What has he done? What has he done to justify a 6-year deal?
Because he was easy, Sean, and he was at Strasbourg, and they just whipped him out.
6 years. Just give him. He's a yes man. Just give him 3 years. What have they done?
Do you know
there?
how many caveats are probably
it's beyond
in that deal?
Fucking madness.
Listen,
he's no better than anyone else. He's not a tactical genius. He's a fucking idiot who's like David Brent-esque. I've got no idea what they were thinking. Like, it's mental.
But Sean, do you believe a club that's managed to circumvent just about every rule and cheat with loan signing, selling the club back, selling the ladies team, the hotel, that every other rule break they've done, setting up another with another company, Strasbourg, and this, that, and the other, and the trading of players for false amounts of money, doesn't have a caveat to get out of not paying him his full 6 years. I believe they've probably got something in that contract that's buried.
Yeah, probably.
That guy hasn't. The only thing that we've admired him for, in all honesty, was fuck off, get out and play in your own half.
Yeah.
Warm up in your own half. That's the only thing that's resonated with us. the whole time he's been there.
Yeah, and I respected that bit. I did.
That's about it.
His tactics are appalling. His utilization of his squad is weak. His press conferences are so embarrassing. They're so cringy. He's a cringe manager. And
he's a cringe merchant.
He won't last. He won't last more. I don't think he'll last more than a year. I think Chelsea have the same sort of problems as other football clubs where like they're impossible to satisfy. Like you have owners that don't understand the game, that throw money at a problem, and they bought some of the best players in the world. I think that what Chelsea need right now, you probably need an Antonio Conte type guy to come back, or an Ancelotti, someone like that. You need a big manager, a big name manager that knows how to work with young players, because Chelsea have completely neglected the experience end of the curve. But they need someone that, like, because it's not like you're trying to train these players. They're young, talented players. They've got more than enough. But you just need someone with like some just respect from the manager that can sit there and just play sort of traditional zone football, and they have enough talent that can get them there. But I think they need a football guy at the football club. I feel like some of the decisions that are being made are just all by like, it's money oriented rather than like focusing on. I'm not sure if I'm getting my words out. I'm not doing a good job here at all. I just feel like there's something massively missing from the Chelsea ecosystem, and I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's a respectful elder figure or it's more senior players, but they've obviously got all the money in the world and they're willing to just do this transference of like this rinse cycle of like players, revolving door thing. But there's something about like a corner. They haven't got a cornerstone. They haven't got like a leader on the pitch or off it that's just someone that everyone can look to and say, that's the figurehead at the football club. I don't think you have it. It used to be Abramovich and Lampard and John Terry. There was like big people, Mourinho. There were big things about Chelsea when they were successful. There were big characters.
Yeah, there's no one now.
There's no one there now. It's a hell of a lot of fucking talent. It's a load of talent, but there's no like, no.
You could say the very same for Spurs, although Chelsea have actually won stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you could say the same.
They won a lot of those things back in the day, and then they're still feeding off of that stuff now. But I just feel like they need like a fucking cornerstone, like a giant pillar, a pillar of Chelsea. Who is the pillar of Chelsea right now, Johnny? If I was like, who's the biggest personality? Who is the thing? Who is the guy? It sure as fuck isn't Rosinia. Like Caicedo, I've never heard him speak. Cole Palmer's as thick as fucking dog shit. Like, who is a talented player? He's probably going to be out anyway at the end of the summer. But like, who is the guy who comes out and speaks for Chelsea and is the kind of representation, the embodiment of Chelsea right now? Who is it? You've got a lot of talent, but you've got no fucking leader.
That's why they should have brought John Terry into the leadership group or into the club as, assistant coach or something like that, to give them some bollocks. I mean, I look at the draw. I mean, that draw is just ridiculously favourable to Arsenal. It's absolutely insane. I mean, they've got in that half of the group, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Liverpool, probably, and Bayern Munich. I mean, like, and then on our side of the draw, there's no one. There's absolutely no one. I just, it's baffling. The stars have all aligned for Arsenal this season. I really do believe that. Even in the FA Cup, Mansfield, Portsmouth, and Southampton. I mean, Jesus Christ. Anyway, on to the game. This will be for Sniffer. Early game today. Barcelona versus Newcastle. Can Newcastle do it?
Yeah, sure.
Got to have a chance.
I don't think they will, but they've got a chance. They've got a better chance than anyone else of the English crew, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, maybe apart from Liverpool at home against Galatasaray, maybe.
I think Galatasaray win there. We'll come to that. But
Yeah.
I think Barcelona, Newcastle. Look, Barcelona 1-1. Newcastle have got nothing to lose. Throw everything at it.
They got the players to hurt Bar. I don't think Barca's defence is that good, and that high line that Hansi Flick seems to adopt. It'd be a problem. But listen, look, we know Lamine Yamal and Rafinha, can all hurt you. There's plenty of absolute talent going forward, but defensively, I'm not overly impressed with them.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see.
Barsi's a
Listen,
fantastic centre back. Cancelo left back still can get forward and score goals. Who's the other guy? Jared Martin, is it? I forget his name.
I don't think. I just think that there's no Lewis Miley in the game tonight, but you know, I think that they should have too much. They should have too much in their home ground. You know, the thing is, when you go to Barca and you play in that, you know, in that atmosphere, you know, just like Bodo absolutely froze. I mean, I know Newcastle are more experienced than Bodo, but I just think, listen, I'd love to see it. And you know that Arsenal will be praying that it's Newcastle that they play. You know it. You know it. What do you reckon?
Do you know what? I actually think that Newcastle have got enough about them to cause Arsenal problems. Over 2 legs, it's going to be difficult. Arsenal, I'm sure, will think they're favourites against anybody right now. They've got all that confidence. Yeah. But Arsenal won't want to go to Newcastle away.
No.
You know? And if Newcastle did get through tonight, I'm not sure they will. Sorry, Sniffer. Sorry, David. I know you also watch.
And Foxy.
If Newcastle do manage to get through, I think that if Newcastle are playing Arsenal first leg, I think that Newcastle could potentially get. You'd need a 2-0 victory in the first leg, but we'll cover that if it happens. I think Barcelona will have too much, but I do think Newcastle fans will like. If you can be in the game, if it's 1-0 to Barcelona at half time, I think there's no reason why Newcastle can't throw. And they've got so much. Newcastle have got a lot of talent, right? They've got, you know, I think personally, you know, I love
midfield. That midfield.
I love, Joel Linton, Guimaraes, Tonali. It's a match for anybody on their day. It's an absolute match for anybody. It'd be an interesting game, mate. If I wasn't watching Tottenham, I'd certainly be watching this one.
Yeah, no, I'll be at Spurs. I hope to be at Spurs tonight for around about 6 o'clock, 2 hours before. Soak up the atmosphere before it all happens. Yeah, let's move on to our game. Sean, unfortunately, no Richarlison tonight. He's suspended, which is a massive blow for us in that game. And Solanke has got a light glove injury, and he could be doubtful tonight.
Mental.
You know, like he's got a slight knock. One of his gloves come off. I mean, like, why are you wearing fucking gloves, mate? Right? Honestly, gloves. It's not midwinter, right? You're wearing your gloves.
Lovely outside, by the way. It's gorgeous outside.
Yeah, gorgeous.
It's gorgeous outside. Gloves. 5 days of spring turning into summer. We'll call it sprummer. And he's sitting there wearing gloves. I don't know what's going on.
Conor Gallagher, he's got a runny bummy. I don't know whether I can play, sir.
Mate, how weird is that? The guy has never missed a single professional game of football in his entire 7 years of professional football. He comes to Tottenham and he's missed more games.
Same with
what is it with mate? It's fucking mental. He's never missed a luxury game in his entire career, and he comes to Tottenham and he gets sick.
He gets sick, mate. I mean, it's the same with Solanke. Never injured. Comes to Spurs, collapses. His leg's gone. His this is gone. Talking about this, Sean. On this day, back in the day, a certain person had a rant, Sean.
Oh.
Do you remember him?
I know the guy.
Yeah.
Hey, it was how many years ago, Johnny? How many years ago was it when I talked about a decent club? A decent club. How long
the
ago?
Same owners.
3 years ago? Was it 2 years ago? 3?
No, I think must be about 4 years ago now.
4 years ago, I say the 20 years of these club, these owners, the same thing. The same thing, always the player, always the manager, the owner, never the player. Why? This
the club.
This club. I don't
Unbelievable.
go out. I don't want to come. I don't want to play for Tottenham no more. I want my money and I want to go back to Napoli. Hey.
And you know what? Exactly what you said all those years ago is even more relevant today than it was then when you left. When we lost to Southampton, well, we drew with Southampton after Papa Sarr made that challenge for a penalty that never was.
Hey, it
And
was
you
never
had
a
your
penalty, but I took the advantage of the situation because I wanted out. I don't care about this club. I don't care about this owner, but I do care about my £14 million. So when I say a decent club, and I know Daniel Levy, he say, you don't talk about a decent club, you pay me my money, I fuck off. Everywhere I go, Johnny, everywhere I go, I was at a Como, I was at the Inter,
You fall
I was
out everywhere.
at the I've been everywhere, and everywhere I go, it's the same
Chelsea.
thing. I say, give me more money or I leave. They give me money, I leave. The club is burned down, but I don't care because it's all about Antonio. And this club is not a change.
Listen,
Not a
all
change.
these years, Antonio, all these years, and it's more relevant today, what you said, than it's ever been. This club is in an absolute mess, And today was the day, the anniversary of the day you said it. And you were right. You were right.
You were right. But I don't care if I wanted my exit. I wanted my money. I wanted what's the best for Antonio. That's how I roll. I'm Antonio and I roll that way. Hey.
Kate and Jimbo, why is Conte from New York?
Hey! Hey, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you, Kate? I don't care about Noah Tottenham. I care about me getting my money.
Oh dear.
Oh,
listen, when it comes to money, it's always Conte and Harry. You know, Harry just needs the money. Harry just wants the money. He wants a new payday. That's all he wants. But listen, I don't know how many years ago, but he's right. 20 years ago, 20 years of this club, and we are where we are today. And the Conte rant is as relevant today as it was then. In fact, more so now when you consider, you know, what happened. The only thing that wasn't right was they've not won a trophy, no trophy in 20 years and all the rest of it. But the club has sunk deeper and deeper and deeper into the shit. Can we do it tonight, Sean? I would have fancied, you know, with Richie playing and, you know, without Solanke having a light glove injury. I'm not sure if he's, you know, if he's going to play, you know, Conor Gallagher with his upset tummy. Will he risk a Bergvall? I reckon they'll only come on for a few minutes.
Find all that stuff weird. I'd like to see. I'd like to see whether he goes to a back four and throws caution to the wind or goes to a back three. Can you really play a back three and score 4 goals? Be interesting. How do you do it? You play Danso in the center, Romero on the right, Van der Ven on the left. You're bringing back the problems to some degree. Pedro Porro right wing back, and then left wing back, maybe Souza or Jed Spence.
Do you know what I would do? And I'll be honest with you, if Destiny Dogie can play, I would play Mickey Van der Ven, Cuti Romero, Destiny Udogie on the left, right? Jed Spence on the right, and I'd play Pedro Porro on the right wing. Push right up.
More experimentation.
Yeah.
We're a giant fucking litmus test at the moment. We're a chemistry lab at Tottenham Hotspur. Every week got the Bunsen burner out, seeing what we can do.
Well,
what's your score prediction for tonight?
I think we'll win tonight. I'm quite confident we will win. Maybe it's misplaced. Well, that was before I knew that, you know, we were missing another probably 3 of our players tonight. But I think we could look. What we do know is Atletico Madrid's front line. You know, Griezmann and Julian Alvarez, Lookman, and co. They can hurt you in an instant. right? You can't you can't make any mistakes at all. But I'd like to see some of the passion and the fight that we played and used against Liverpool on the weekend. Could you imagine the headlines if he put Kinski back in goal?
Yeah, he's not going to do that. But
No.
if we get to 3-0 and it goes to extra time.
No, 2-0. If we get to 2-0, could you imagine the atmosphere inside the stadium?
If he gets to 3-0 and it goes to extra time in the 119th minute, you substitute Vicario for Brandon Austin for the penalties.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Save one substitution. Keep one sub back for the last minute. Let Brandon Austin save a couple of pens, mate, and we go through.
Will Vicario, before he leaves Tottenham Hotspur, dive the right way? Because I believe he's gone.
He's not. No, he's never gonna dive the right way in a penalty shootout ever.
I mean, what do you practice every day? What do you practice every day? I mean, we've got
two goalkeeping coaches. We've got no assistant managers, but we have two goalkeeping coaches, and our goalkeeping situation is arguably worse than anything else in the football.
Worse than it's ever been. Brandon Austin should be starting. He hasn't let us down when he's come in, Sean. He hasn't. I don't believe
if he does that experiment, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do.
No, but look, I'll be honest with you, right? I fail to understand when you practice every single day. Imagine me practicing every day how to do a YouTube stream and still getting it wrong every single week. And, every single time I come out, I fuck up, right? And I'll be going, well, hang on, what are you doing? What are you learning every day? The guy can't read.
Vicario is like the guy who somehow has managed to be like a world-class go-karting champion, but has failed his driving tests like 25 times.
I just don't understand. Like where you see the goalkeepers, right? So what happens is the penalty shootout, the goalkeeper goes into his goal, he gets his water bottle, and he looks at his water bottle, and he's got a list of all the goalkeeper, all the guys are going to take penalties and which way they tend to go, right? Every goalkeeper has that, right? 90% of them have a list. He's never got it right, ever.
I honestly, I'd love to play poker against him. The man clearly has a tell that everyone can read. Every single striker knows what to do there.
What's your score with this one?
3-1 Tottenham. We go out, but we do well.
I'm going to go 2-1. It's 2-0. Crowd gets up, pushes forward, and go on, Daniel. Do the super chats, and then we'll move.
Thanks,
on
Daniel.
to the
Appreciate you, mate. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, buddy. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, buddy. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you, bud. Appreciate you, buddy. And Hayes has said, I think the powers that be. Bodo out because they wanted that Norway ground out of the finals. Could we really see games played there? I think not.
I
don't know. I don't remember any. I mean, yeah, you're right. Maybe the penalty goal, the third goal was a bit
changed
dodgy.
The game. The penalty changed the game. At 1-0, they were quite comfortable, but that penalty just before half-time, it was absolutely outrageous. I mean, it didn't even hit his hand, hit his belly, and then hit his hand, and he had nowhere to move to. I mean, it was two outrageous motions there to be given, and it just shows you how corrupt and how variable it is. Yeah, that one's that was
clear. Big up to you, Hayes. Appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going 3-1. You're going 2-1, yeah?
Yeah. Bayern Munich, Atalanta. That one's done and dusted. 6-1 to Bayern Munich. They'll probably rest the whole load of players for the next round. We won't have any interest in that, so we'll skip that one. And then the big one, Liverpool, Galatasaray. Liverpool left out Ekitike, Curtis Jones, and a couple of others for the game on Sunday. Just trying to remember who else they left out of the starting lineup. They left out Kirkes, Konate, Curtis Jones, Salah, and Ekitike. So they did have one eye on the result. That's why I'm just reserving a little bit of judgment on the of the Tottenham draw, although it was a fantastic battling performance, because they did leave out 5 of their first teamers for that game. I think it's going to be a tough one for Liverpool. Our mate, the striker for Galatasaray, is going to cause them all sorts of trouble. Yeah. But I think they're going to. I think this is going to go to extra time. I think Liverpool are going to win 2-1, and then it's going to go to extra time, and then I'm going to go Liverpool to win through in this.
I'm going to go Galatasaray.
Sorry, Liverpool fans, if you're in the chat. If you're in the chat, guys, please hit the like button, and if you're here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button.
I just think Liverpool are in a really bad spot, Johnny. I don't think that I don't think they're anything like they were. I think they look really poor. I think Galatasaray will know that. I think Galatasaray got players that can hurt them. I know Galatasaray don't travel so much. It'll be an interesting game. It'll be an interesting game. I think I'm going to say 1-1 on the night, and Galatasaray go through.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I think Liverpool should have enough. Kate and Jimbo, Liverpool 2-2, 1-1. Yeah, I think Liverpool. I fancy Spurs to win tonight. It might be misplaced, but I don't know. I think that they will sit back with a 5-2, try and hit us on the counter attack, as we saw with their goal that they scored against us. I think they'll try and suck us in. But are we agreed with Spurs tonight that you just throw caution to the wind? Yeah.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah. Just if you can get an early goal, like after 10, if it's 0-0 after 10 minutes, Tottenham have to throw everything for it. You have to. If we're 0-0 at half time, it's pointless. Tottenham have to be in a situation where they have at least got themselves to a scenario where they've had 2 or 3 good chances. If you get 1-0 up, if Tottenham go 1-0 up in the first 10 minutes, game fucking on. If we're 2-0 at half time, oh my God, Johnny, what a second.
The atmosphere is good. Yeah.
I mean, rocking, absolutely rocking and rocking.
Well, listen, I'll tell you something, right? I'm off to Japan next week, and that would mean that I wouldn't be back for the 2 games against Barcelona or Newcastle. So there's a good possibility that it could possibly happen and I'd miss it. But I'd forsake all of that, missing it, so we could go through. We'd get a lot of players back, and who knows? A little bit of transfer news, Sean.
I've got to go in a second, Joe. I've got to go out for lunch, mate. So
no problem. Manchester City are now prepared to let Savinho go to Spurs. Would you bother buying him now?
I don't think he'd want to come to Tottenham. I think the only reason he wanted to come to Tottenham was because he thought his position in the Brazilian team was under threat, and that will be done by the time the summer comes around.
Yeah.
I don't rate him that much. Not at the 75 million quid level. I think
hasn't shown it at all, has he?
Not for me. Not in the Premier League.
No.
You know, if we're going to sit there and moan about, if we sign him, I hope the people that hate Matisse Tell, that give Matisse Tell such a horribly hard time because he's a £40 million player, I hope you double down on your expectancy of Matisse Tell on Savinho. I bet you fucking won't. I bet the Tottenham fans won't. I bet you'll fucking find every reason to defend him because he's a £70 million player than Matisse Tell. Because there's no discernible difference.
Sully is. I'd get paid back from Madrid, cold showers, make the pitch a meadow, and give the Madrid coach driver directions to Millwall. 100%. Spurs are also eyeing a Lazio defender, Mario Gila, as he could leave for a fee of just 30 million this summer. And Tottenham are also considering another raid on Serie A with a move for Roma midfielder Nicolo Pisilli. I've never heard of him.
He's taking the Pisilli if he thinks we're going to get him.
You're taking a Pisilli, and Chelsea would be prepared to pay 70 million to sign Brentford right back Michael Coyote this summer. He's definitely going to be.
Have a look at Coyote's stats, though. They're not that spectacular. In fact, I'll show you right now.
Go on. Let's have a look at it. Liverpool are looking at Eduardo Camavinga.
Really not that fucking spectacular. He's good in the air. He's not that fast. He's a terrible pass with the ball. His crossing is bang average. Like he's an eye test merchant. Like eye test looks great because of the statistics, because of the long throws, all that stuff. But by the way, I love Michael. I'm a big fan of him, but I was just absolutely surprised. I was gobsmacked.
70 million is.
I was gobsmacked by how bad his stats look for the other departments of right back games. I really like him, but progressive passing, woeful. Crossing, woeful. Carrying, bang average. Defensive duels, woeful. Possessions won, bang average. He's good in the air, but I think people pay a lot of attention to him because of his long throws. I do rate him. It's interesting when you compare the stats versus every other right back in the top 5 leagues and what he's capable of doing.
But that's the thing, isn't it? We get carried away by the eye test, and that's probably how Spurs sign players. Right.
Well, I think you need a combination of both, right? Because the stats are like without context, and the eye test is without the detail. So it's
and content of character. There's a player. Tonali.
He's a great player. He's a good player. I'd definitely take Coyote. I would take him, but I was just surprised.
But not 70 mil. Nowhere near 70 million. Guys, if you're here, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Helps the algorithm as we try and grow the channel. We'd love to. We can't do it without you. So if you do get the chance, please do that. And if you're listening on audio, please give us a follow on Apple or on Spotify. We're trying to grow the audio part of it. Whilst we're growing here, the audio one has become a little bit stagnant. So if you're lying in bed or out walking the dog, walking the wife, or whatever you're doing, thanks very much for that. And don't forget our sponsor, OK Jersey. And if you go up to their site and use the code FINC, you get an extra 8% off. They got the World Cup shirts in now, and they got a new Spurs shirt if you fancy that. And lots of other clubs. Sean, happy birthday, mate.
Thank you.
Okay. Enjoy your magnums. Enjoy your lunch. Enjoy your lunch. Everyone in the chat, have a great day. Whoever you support, have a good one. And we will see you tomorrow. And for Sean and I, it's come on you Spurs. And for all you Sniffer, Foxy and the like, good luck to Newcastle tonight. And to all you Liverpool fans, good luck to you. See you soon.
Bye guys. Bye. I gotta go, Johnny.